Hi and welcome to the first post-Kickstarter update of MakeTile. This is a slightly weird update because on the surface very little has changed, but underneath pretty much everything has. All the tile generators have been rewritten and the whole code base has been re-architected, so it's now much more modular and easier for me to add new stuff in. As such, I'm going to be able to start adding the new tile types and features again, as well as beginning to integrate the asset manager. Because there have been so many changes, tiles created with old versions of MakeTile won't be modifiable using this version. And if you load a file created with an old version of MakeTile, you'll probably get a load of errors. Materials you saved also won't appear in this menu when you come to create a tile. But they will be available for assigning to different bits of your tile here. The next few releases will be the same in that they're unlikely to be backward compatible. And it won't be until MakeTile is largely feature complete that I'll be able to change that. So let's have a look at what has changed for users. The first thing you'll notice is that the tile blueprint drop-down in the first panel is now gone. You can still choose whether you want your base or the core part of your tile to be OpenLock compatible or plain, or for there not to be a base. You just always have to do this on a part-by-part basis now. Secondly, you now have a lock proportions option on each of your tiles. So this means that you don't need to worry about the base and the core of your tile being different sizes. So this will sort of update together. So the third thing is we now have top pegs and we have toggleable base sockets as well. So the top pegs are the first step to being able to do multi-story buildings. And being able to toggle the base sockets on and off is quite useful if you've got something like this, where we've got a tile with a sort of extreme base angle. And you can see that, you've got this glitch in the base because the base sockets are overlapping. So now we can just sort of toggle that on and off. So you can also toggle the top pegs on and off, along with the side clips. You'll also notice that there's a slight sort of graphical glitch going on with the side sockets at the moment. So this is to do with the way it's being subdivided. But as soon as you make your tile 3D, that glitch will go away. I will get rid of it in the preview mode at some point, but I've not done that yet. There's a couple of other quality of life changes. The voxelization should be faster now, and I've also tweaked the default settings so it will pick up more details. You can obviously, still change this here, but it's just sort of a better set of defaults. And one of the tasks in the next round is also to add a couple more options to the exporter to do with making the exported meshes smaller using decimation. So the other big change, which isn't immediately obvious, is that in previous versions, when you created a tile or converted an object for use of MakeTile, it's actually created two bits of geometry. One which was used for the previews and one which was used for the displacement mesh when you made something 3D. And it switched between the two. MakeTile switched between the two. Now this was done to correct for a bug in the way that Blender handles displacement textures, but I'm now handling that in another way. So there's now just one mesh effectively for each tile. Now this cuts the amount of geometry in the scene in half, which is definitely a good thing because it means that things run faster. But it also solves an issue with editing tiles after creation, which wasn't possible previously. So let's say you want to create a cave. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create just a straight wall without a base. Okay, and I am going to get rid of my top pegs. I'm just going to switch over to Eevee mode. And I'm going to assign my stone texture just to the top. Okay, right. So if I make this 3D, you can see we've got sort of a rough stone wall, but obviously it's not very sort of cave-like. So I'm just going to return to preview. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a mess about with this mesh. So I'm just going to go into edit mode, and I'm going to just fiddle about with some of the vertices on the top. I'm just going to grab some of these, so make it a bit sort of wobbly. I'm just going to go into top mode and hide those vertices, and then I'm going to grab some of these, and I'm just going to sort of move them around on the y-axis just to make this a bit uneven. Maybe that one. Then do the same on the other side. Okay. Then I'm just going to add a couple of extra vertices in the top here, and I'm gonna move those down. Okay, so we now have a sort of uneven, wally, cavey type thing. And now if I just click on Make 3D, then we now have something which, is kind of cave-like. So you could create, multiple ones of these, and you could create sort of several in one go, and then edit them so they all line up nicely. And this wasn't actually possible previously, because what would happen would be the material system would break, basically. And having a single mesh just makes it a lot easier to do things like this, but also to add doors and windows in future, and just generally modify meshes afterwards. So that's one of the big changes, and that's also one of the reasons why your old tiles will not be compatible with this version, because that's all changed. So because so much of the code has changed, I expect there's going to be quite a lot of new bugs introduced. If you do find something that's broken, then either leave a comment here on YouTube, message me through Kickstarter or Gumroad, or add it to the issue tracker on GitHub. And it's really useful for me if you do report those bugs, because it means that I can, fix them, and yeah, that's great. So, okay, that's everything for now. The pace of releases should speed up again, because I'm going to begin adding in the extra tile types, starting with the connecting columns. And I'll be releasing each new tile type as soon as it's done, and I'll let you know through Kickstarter and Gumroad when a new version is available. I've also updated the docs, so make sure you check those out for instructions on updating the add-on, as you'll need to completely remove the old version. Okay, bye for now.